Good morning, traders. Today is September 10th, Saturday. This is Brad Matheny, and let's get started with your 5-minute market recap. We're going to start with the ES, the S&P 500 E-mini futures. We've seen a fairly strong rebound last week, likely to continue to attempt to move a bit higher, maybe up into this 41.55 level, possibly up into this 42.28 level, up to this upper range. But we have Fed decision days back over here near the 20th and the 21st. So I'm kind of expecting the markets to roll a bit sideways next week. So I would expect more of a continued, like possibly push up to here, roll a bit sideways, and then potentially move down to another support level, back down here in the 40.50, 40.40 level, and then potentially move a bit higher. I think the Fed's going to come in with a easier rate, somewhere possibly in the 50 basis points to 25 basis points, which might prompt a nice relief rally. Now, eventually, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to apex out of this move. This moves us into October 20th to 21st, roughly, into this apex right in this area. And this is where we're going to potentially see a bigger trend initiation. The NASDAQ looks very similar. I'll take a look real quick at the NASDAQ. And you can see the NASDAQ is trending into a similar formation. Let me shrink this down. You can see the peak level here. Try to draw this across these highs, coming down across these levels, and from these lows across these levels. And this is where we're going to see, go. This is where we're going to see some real extended trending. Extend to the right, and this one, extend to the right. We're going to see some real extended trending into an apexing formation right over here. So the NASDAQ will likely move into a consolidated formation, kind of like this, back down to here, and potentially apex up into a Christmas rally. And again, the apex comes around the same time, October 24th or so. Now let's take a look at gold. Gold and silver have really been struggling. We've seen tremendous opportunity for how the metals markets are going to move overall. You can see this apexing formation that I drew a couple months back. We've gotten this washout low, this double bottoming formation, which is really beautiful right across here. And I really think that we're going to see some real trending upward as we continue to see fear drive. China and Europe are dealing with energy concerns, and China's shut down 85 to 100 million people because of COVID. This could dramatically change the way the rest of the year plays out. Gold and silver holding up above these support levels are very solid. I don't want to waste too much time. Next, we're going to go to silver. Silver is deepening into a downward trend here. Looks very solid as far as I'm concerned. Just like I said, the deepening trend in silver has played out excessive in regards to how gold is holding up. So this is a great opportunity for silver. You do need to understand, though, that we have this critical support level down in this area for silver, and when it comes right down to it, it's more along the lines of right here, continuing out to the right, and this support level plays a very big role for what we're seeing in the future. Breakdown into this critical support level like we're at right now is likely to prompt some sort of a solid upward retracement. We do have some consolidation here, which may end up playing out into another pennant formation. So we need to see how this plays out and really kind of play it by ear. But this is what's going on in the general markets. We're seeing this kind of a sideways rotation continue to play out in metals and in the markets. And I believe we're going to start to see some real big fear. Crude oil broke downward, and we're likely moving into a deeper downward trend, as I mentioned to you over the last couple of weeks. Demand destruction because of higher prices, higher interest rates, weaker consumers will likely move oil back down below $80 a level first, $80 first, these previous peaks over here, and then eventually possibly down into the $63, $64 level. We need to watch the transportation index. I'm going to come over here to the transportation index. We need to watch the transportation index to see how it plays out, whether or not we see any real support going forward. This is going to be a very big setup overall for market trends, because we're going to be able to see if the markets find any support. Actually, let me do it differently. If the markets find any support, then we're going to see the transportation index start to move higher off of this pennant formation. But this current pennant formation really gives us an opportunity here. You can see we've got a 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, and then potentially a real bottom setting up in January, an apex setting up potentially in January. All right, we're a little over 5 minutes here. Lastly, I want to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has done exactly as I predicted. I predicted about 3 weeks ago that Bitcoin was going to move downward, try to bottom off of a low below 18,800, and then rebound higher very quickly and potentially start targeting this 30 to 34,000. So now we are looking at a target level in this area. And what we are seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is a potential for a very quick rally up into this area, possibly up into this area. So what I'm going to do here is try to highlight this, drag it about where we need it to be, and give you an idea that I called this move back over here about 3 weeks ago. It was a beautiful setup. I predicted, based on my rotation or my adaptive dynamic learning, that Bitcoin would need to fall below 18,800, which it did. It moved almost down to 18,000, potentially lower. And I predicted in this time frame, sometime between September 6th and 8th, we would have a massive inflection point, trend would change, and then we would begin to skyrocket higher. Look at this big move yesterday in Bitcoin. It's just an outstanding call, an outstanding move higher. And now we're looking for, what are we going to have here? From these lows, a potential move of 40% to 63% higher if it reaches my targets. Remember, my targets right now are this level here, roughly 26,000, and then 30 to 31,000 right in this area. These are the target levels for this next rally in Bitcoin. Then it should stall out and move lower. All right, that's it for now.